So today we are going to do our top three Universal Edition because that's all we do is Universal. So to start off, we're going to do our top three parks, even though we've only gone to two. So top two parks, and I'm going to go first and start with my second and explain why I picked second. We don't know what each other picked, but I have a feeling it's going to be the same, just because. Yeah. Anyway, so number two for me is Universal. They have great rides and all, but other than just Rip Ride Rockit and Mummy, those are the only two that I would ride over and over and over. But obviously, Islands is my first one. But Islands is number one for me because they just have better rides. Hulk, Spider-Man, Hagrid's, all those fun rides. So yeah, my number two is Universal. So what is your number two?
You copied me.
No, I didn't.
Because that was the same thing. My number two is also Universal. And also because they only have two rides. Whereas Islands, which is my number one, they have a lot more stuff. A lot more rides that we've done. I was going to say my number one ride, but that's later. So not going to spoil it yet.
So I guess we know that our number one is Islands, obviously.
Yeah,
and
great.
like we said, because they have better rides, in all honesty. But so the next one is the top three food places. I've been to many of the food places at Universal and Islands and City Walk, but she has not. So my three is actually like out of like six. So I know it's a Universal and Islands thing, but we're adding City Walk into it because that's usually all we eat at. So my number three food place is in Islands, and it's Mythos. Me and Jonah went there when we went to Halloween Horror Nights. We went there while we were in Islands, and it was good. I wanted to try it because everybody said it was the best food place and it won the awards and stuff, but it wasn't the best that I've had, but it sure does beat Mel's Diner, which was absolutely awful in my opinion. But yeah, my number three is Mythos. It was good. Don't remember what I had, but I think it was good. Jonah enjoyed it, and yeah, so my number three is Mythos. And what is your number three?
So my number three is Breadbox.
Yes.
And well, the only thing we had from there was the holiday, was it sandwich? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a sandwich.
Holiday sandwich.
Breadbox is a sandwich shop.
And then you had yours with the no, I had mine with the cranberry. You had yours without the cranberry
Yes.
sauce, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and it was good. Nothing too out there, but it was good.
So my number two, out of all the places that I've eaten, is Monsters Cafe, and I've eaten there like 3 or 4 times. The first time I went before I got my annual pass, when my church went, we went to Monsters Cafe, and I got a turkey leg, which was amazing, and they had some great barbecue sauce too, so I was happy about that. And then this time we just went for Mardi Gras, and I got I got brisket and sausage, and it tasted amazing. And I think I'm gonna eat there more often now because it just tastes really good. So that's my number two.
My number two is also Monsters Cafe. I had the pizza, the cheese pizza. Was it cheese?
Yep.
Cheese pizza. It was good. The crust was a little thin, but it was a good pizza. I also had a watermelon there. It was good.
Oh yeah. So my number one is the place that we go to every time, and that's Big Fire City Walk. I get a steak, and the steak's always cooked perfectly, and then we get the s'mores, and it's just a fun experience, especially when it's horror nights and you can look out the window and see everybody screaming and all the lights and stuff, and you know that you're about to go out there, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, Big Fire is my number one because the steak is just great, and we had a great server the first time we went, so that was fun.
My number one is also Big Fire. I've had, the first time we went, I had their chicken sandwich. It had like this peach thing, like sauce on it, which was good. And the second time I had their, it was also chicken.
It was just chicken.
It was just a chicken with
some vegetable stuff, right?
Vegetables and potatoes, steamed potatoes. And those were good too. And the s'mores were the best part. I like they have these, what is it?
Build your own s'mores?
Is it build your own s'mores?
Mm-hmm. Where you do your own s'mores?
No. I'm talking about their marshmallows.
Are you talking about the vanilla ones?
Yeah, like their homemade marshmallows, is it?
Yeah, I think they make them there at Big Fire themselves.
Yeah, those are good with the s'mores, the vanilla ones. I'm not a big fan of the chocolate ones though, but the vanillas I recommend.
Okay, so the next one's our top 3 shows. We haven't really seen that many shows because they don't really have that many, and other than I guess the 3 that we listed are the only ones that we've seen. Horror Nights really has all the shows that we watch. There's about 4 shows that we have watched, and Horror Nights has 2 of them, so those are probably going to be at both of our lists. I don't know, but my number 3 is horror makeup. I love horror makeup. This stuff's so cool. Horror Nights, all that. It's my favorite stuff, and surprisingly it's number 3 on my list, but it's just a great, the actors in it are great, and all the special effects and stuff are really cool. It's cool learning how they do the stuff and how they bring humor into it and stuff, and it's just really fun to watch, and I think I've watched it every time I've gone except for this last time because we were a little bit rushed, but every time I go I try to watch it because it's just really funny, and it's really air conditioned and it feels good in there. So that was my number 3, and your number 3?
Mine was also the horror makeup show for my number 3. I've only seen it once so far, but it was really fun, and I like how they get a lot of the audience involved, even though we're just kind of all sitting there. But it's really fun, it's interesting, like he said, and yeah, the way they make the comedy aspect of it, that's also fun to go sit there and watch.
So my number 2 is Academy of Villains, and I figured that Bill and Ted's would be probably my number 1, but I didn't go to Horror Nights until 28, and that was the year after Bill and Ted's, so Academy of Villains was the headlining show and the only show that year, and they were 28 and 29, and they were great both times. It's a show that I'd watch multiple times over and over again. It's number 2 only because my number 1 I feel like is 1,000 times better than any show I've ever seen in my life. But Academy of Villains is great. The dancers do a lot, and they put a lot of effort into it. And just watching it one time, I can't fathom how much energy they use to do 5 or 6 shows until 1 in the morning every single day. But they do, and they give it their all, and I appreciate that, and that's why it's my number 2. And your number 2?
So my number 2 is actually the Grinchmas show.
The difference between us two?
Just because I love Grinch, and the actor who does play the Grinch part is very fun, and
he's a great actor.
He does a great job at playing the Grinch. So I thought that was really fun to watch, and I like Christmas, so I like Grinch.
So my number 1 is going back to Halloween Horror Nights, and it is the number 1. The first time that they showed it was 29, and it was just mesmerizing, and that was it was Monsters and Mayhem, I think, or Mayhem and Madness or something like that. But either way, it was the Lagoon show that they did for the first time, and I hope they do it every single year to come, because it was just, it immersed you into it, and it showed off all the scenes from my favorite stuff, and the music was great, the water effects were great, and the laser show was great, and it felt like you were really there, and it was a nice thing to just sit down and relax while watching. instead of going through all the houses and getting scared and stuff. It was just a nice break to just watch and cool off.
I was torn because I didn't know to put either the Lagoon Show or Academy of Villains, but I went with the Lagoon Show because Academy of Villains was good,
but not top 3 worthy.
Not my top 3. So I like the Lagoon Show. All of the effects, all of the lights, the way, like, it was just cool to watch and see it all come together the way it did. And they did a really good job at including, like you said, all of the, I guess, like, most known scenes of all the stuff, all the things they were doing that year. I think that was really cool. And yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun. Yeah.
Alright, so the next one is going to be the top 3 events, and pretty sure there's only 3 events. Well, no, I take that back. There's more events, because you got Rock the Universe, Horror Nights, Grinchmas, Mardi Gras, Eve, which I think is only City Walk, but you also have the July 4th celebration, which I didn't get to do because I didn't get my pass until afterwards. I think July 5th was the first day I went with my pass. But, so our top 3 events, my number 3 is Grinchmas.
Do we have the same order?
Probably. I don't like Christmas as much as most people do. But Universal does a great Grinchmas celebration stuff, and walking through Whoville during Christmas time is really cool. We went on the Christmas tree hunt and saw a lot of the Christmas trees, and it took a lot longer than I thought it would, but it was nice, and plus it was cool, and so walking around when it was cold was nice because I'm used to just sweating to death. But yeah, Grinchmas is my number 3 because it's just not something that I particularly like, but it was cool to experience it for the first time, so that's why it's my number 3.
My number 3 is also Grinchmas. Even though I love Christmas, it's fun. It is fun to go to Whoville and walk around and see. The actors are very good at interact with the people.
Which you got one interaction, which was pretty cool.
While we were at the candy store, one of the Whoville one of the Who's came into it, and then I was able to interact with them, and they're very into character and engaged, and I thought that was really cool. The only reason why it is my number 3 though is because it is only in that section of the park. That's kind of the only thing, really. But yeah, I love it, and I like the show as well. Yeah, it's my number 3.
My number 2 is Mardi Gras, which I am very sad that it got cut short for us. I'm just glad that I got to go an extra day. I went the week before we went, I think, just to try the food and all that. And even when I just went by myself, it was great. The food is amazing. I don't really particularly like Cajun stuff, but that was amazing. The $60 for the lanyard was by far the best investment in any event they have, in my opinion, because you get 15 and they're pretty big size portions, and if you go ahead and eat before you go, you don't have to use all 15 in one go. And yeah, Mardi Gras, the parade was amazing. The colors were great. You can tell that everybody liked it, and the people on the floats enjoyed throwing the beads at us, and that was pretty cool. I got hit in the head a couple of times. And they have concerts, so annual pass holders get in for free on concerts, and that's pretty cool. I mean, not very often you get to say, hey, I went to an REO Speedwagon concert, or Marshmello for that matter, even though he didn't get to perform because, you know, Corona. But we went, and we were there for one day, and it got cut short, but It was pretty cool. We got to see the parade once, and next year, hopefully, we'll be able to get on the parade or something and go for the week that we were supposed to go, like before. But French Quarter was great. The music was great. The actors walked around and interacted with you and joked and danced and made you dance for beats and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's one of the most immersive immersive events other than Horror Nights, because I mean Horror Nights they have to be, but with all the actors and stuff and all the cool like shrimp bayou and all that kind of stuff, the crawfish boil and stuff is pretty cool. So that's my number 2.
I think we have the same list again.
Probably.
Mine is also, for number 2, mine's also Mardi Gras. I think Universal does a good job at getting actors that interact with the people at the park very well. You walk around the French Quarter and the people, like you walk around the park and you see all the actors and they're just waving, saying hi, happy Mardi Gras, everything like that. I think that was really cool. All the dancing, and they get you to dance with them and be very interactive. That's very nice. The parade is also very nice to see. Catching all the beads, we caught a few this year. The food was also good. We got to try the gator tails. We did the twisted. No, we did.
We did not get Twisted Taters. I got Twisted Tater the first time, but
we did the king cake.
Yep.
Which was really good. What else did we get?
The sausage po' boy.
The po' boy, yeah, that was good. It was good. It wasn't my favorite.
You got the chips too.
Yeah, I got the chips. The chips were good. But yeah, I just really enjoyed it. It did suck that we did get our time cut short because of the whole virus going on. But other than that, it was really fun for a day or two while we were there.
And I'm assuming that both of our number 1s is Horror Nights.
Yep.
I feel like a lot of people in the world would put Horror Nights as their number 1 because 30 years of something, and I think Mardi Gras just had their 25th anniversary, so you can tell that Horror Nights was like their main thing. And that's the reason why I started really liking Universal more than Disney. I'm more into actual horror, like horror movies like Halloween and Friday the 13th and stuff like that, and Disney doesn't do stuff like that. So, and we haven't done Not So Scary Halloween Party yet, and hopefully we'll be able to do that this year. But Horror Nights is just, it's Horror Nights. That's really all I can say about it. It's fun. The atmosphere is just great. It's like I'm living through my own horror movie, and I've always loved watching horror movies, so going through the houses and getting scared is just fun. I don't get scared easily, but Halloween Horror Nights usually does get me sometimes. The shows are incredible. As we said, Academy of Villains and the Lagoon Show are like the 2 best shows I've seen so far. Unfortunately, she didn't get to go to 28, which was the best year ever that I've heard, and 29 was kind of lame, but it was still fun. Hopefully this year we get to have Horror Nights, and I know it'll probably be a lot different, and I'm excited. I'm weary to see what changes they're going to bring, because it's going to be hard to keep scare actors 6 feet apart from everybody, but we'll see how that works. But yeah, Horror Nights is just Horror Nights. It's fun. It's amazing. I will do it every single year until I die. So, yep. What's your number 1?
It's also Horror Nights.
Figured.
It's really fun. You can be there all day, be there in the morning, and then go on until 2 in the morning.
Which I would not suggest.
But yeah, it's really fun. The mazes, going through the mazes, getting all the scares. It's, even though it is scary, it's fun at the same time, weirdly enough. But yeah, it's fun. I just enjoy it going. The one time I went, it was still really fun, even though it wasn't super scary. I'm not getting scared. It was still, I think it was still it was good for.
The thing I like about Horror Nights is that you can tell that it's like the premiere show or premiere event because of how many different what are they called? Promotions they give out.
Yeah.
Like I think in February, the end of February, they started the buy one get one for Halloween Horror Nights already. Like, what was that, 9 to 10 months out from the event, and then they already start announcing houses, which unfortunately they haven't yet, but they usually start in March because everybody's already hyped about it. They're hyped after it ends. So I think it's just really cool how they have those, and they have Stay and Scream and Rip Tour and all that. So
that's what I was gonna say. All the little things like the Rip Tour, which is fun. It's cool to do because you get obviously like front of the line to all the houses. You get free food. You get express passes. You're able to watch the shows with. If your tour guide takes you, you're able to do that. So I think that's really cool, and our tour guide was really nice and he was really cool, so I think that's also. And
apparently people tip them, so if you do the Rip Tour, tip your tour guide.
Or carry cash just
now
in case.
I feel bad, but the Rip Tour is very worth it. It's very pricey, but it's worth it. And if you don't do that, then go at least 2 days and get express pass. And yeah, so that's why Horror Nights is our number one.
Yep.
And the next one is parades, which I think there's only 3 parades anyway. She's only seen like 2. I have seen 3, and my number 3 is Superstar. I think that's what it's called, Superstar Parade, I believe. It's lame, in my honest opinion. Nobody really likes to see it unless it's their first time seeing it, and then after that it's like Fast and Furious. You just have to see it one time or ride it one time, and then you never want to again. But anyway, so that's my number 3, and I'm just gonna go ahead and go to my number 2, which is Macy's. It's cool. It's the music, it's Christmas music. Don't really like Christmas music, but it's pretty cool, and they have confetti and stuff. So that was cool. And they light up the Christmas tree, and where we were, you got to see the Christmas tree light up. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, that's my number 2 is the Macy's parade, and having the Macy's floats was pretty cool. So what's your number 2?
Mine is also the Macy's Christmas parade. It is, you get all the holiday, the Christmas spirit. If you get the good seats, then you get good view of the Christmas tree light up. I would recommend for you to sit, where is it?
It's on Fallon.
The Fallon, towards the end.
Yeah, it's between it's at the end of Fallon, and on the edge of where the tribute store usually is for Halloween Horror Nights and Mardi Gras. It's not on the steps, it's on like a platform. You can't sit on the steps, but the lady told us that we could sit there, and we did. So it was a great view.
That was a nice view. You're able to see the way the tree lights up. If you want to get the front of Santa, I think you're able to sit by Mummy.
Yep.
Because we got the back of Santa Claus, but we still got a good view of the tree light up.
And we got to sit the whole time, so.
Yeah, but if you want to see Santa Claus, then I would recommend you to sit like near the Mummy.
Yep.
But yeah, it's my number 2.
And I guess the number 1 that's left is Mardi Gras, and we've already talked about it, but it's just everybody looks like they're having fun. The colors are great. Yeah. The Feet Don't Fail Me Now song always gets stuck in my head.
He was singing it for like the whole week.
The dancers look like they're all having a blast, and they interact with everybody, and it just feels like a party, and it's just fun. And I'm excited to be able to like do it next year and not have to worry about anything else other than catching beads and maybe filming it. So yeah, that's my number 1 is Mardi Gras.
Mine is also the Mardi Gras parade. Like he said already, the dancers are very fun to watch, and you get to dance with them on the sidelines as well. They'll go up to you and like
dance with you.
So that's fun. And yeah, you get to see everyone smiling, having a good time, screaming for the beads. You might get hit a few times, but you know, it's fun. It's very fun to watch.
So the next one is one that was really hard to narrow down because we don't usually eat that much unless it's at like a restaurant or something. But our top 3 snacks, my number 3 is the pizza pretzel, which is what I got with Jonah at Halloween Horror Nights, and it tasted amazing. It's literally a pretzel with pepperonis on it and marinara and cheese infused into the pretzel, and it's just really good. And I guess that would tie into the candy cane slush, or not the candy cane, the candy corn slush that we got at Horror Nights was amazing. And I forgot about all the slushes. And I guess I could do a separate video of the top 3 slushes because the candy cane one was good. And what did I get at Mardi Gras? Was it Wildberry? I think it was Wildberry. And you got the lemonade because it had pineapple in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, slushes are amazing. So candy cane and candy corn and Wildberry slushes. But yeah, my number 3 snack is pizza pretzel. But yeah, that was really good. So what's your 3?
So mine's also pizza related, but mine's a pizza tots.
And pizza fries would have been our number 1, but we didn't get to eat them. So next time.
Story time. That's a story time for that. So we got during the Grinch. Well,
it was during the Grinchmas.
The Grinchmas.
Green Eggs and Ham had just opened, so we wanted to go see.
We went and we got the pizza tots. And then we also had what was it?
The s'mores.
The s'mores.
I don't remember what it was called. It wasn't s'mores
Nutella
tots.
s'mores?
I guess.
Something like that. We also have that. But that wasn't anywhere near my top 3. It was too sweet, and also something you could easily just make at home compared to having to pay like, what was it, $10?
Probably.
$12 for it. So, but the pizza tots were really good. I would definitely get those again if we can, whenever we can. And yeah.
So my number 2 is Twisted Taters. They are extremely good. It's just every time I've gotten them, they've been really flimsy and not crispy like I think they're supposed to be, because I've heard people say that they're crispy. But either way, they're great. And I usually get the salt and vinegar ones. I need to try them more, but when I went to Mardi Gras by myself, I got the Cajun ones, and the Cajun one was really good. So I need to try like the sour cream and onion one, because I think that one would be really good. But yeah, Twisted Taters at Horror Nights and Mardi Gras are my number 2. And what's your number 2?
My number 2 is also the Twisted Taters. The only time I got to try it was during Halloween Horror Nights, though. I didn't get to try it during Mardi Gras. But I also got the salt and vinegar and when we went during Halloween, during Horror Nights. Those are really good. They get you pretty full.
Yes.
I didn't think they would, but they do. They get you pretty full for a snack, so I would recommend for anyone to go get it.
And our number 1, and I say our because I already know what she's gonna pick because we literally just made it a couple of days ago. It's the Voodoo Donut Burger.
Yes.
That they don't sell at the kiosk anymore. They sell it at NBC Grill and Brew, and we don't have really that much time to just go sit there and get it. But it's great. It's a donut and a burger together, and it's sweet and savory, and it's just
all the
salty. It's just
all the good flavors mixed in together.
So good. And that will always be my number 1, even if they get rid of it. Don't care what they make. Even pizza fries. I forgot that I said pizza fries would be my number 1, but it would not be. It would be my number 1.5 because the donut burger is just too good.
It's just
so
tasty.
Yep, and
I love it. My mouth is watering thinking about it.
Anyway, the last one is going to be the hardest one, and it's the top 3 rides in both parks. Like combined parks, not 3 in Universal and 3 in Islands, but the top 3 in both. Maybe later we'll do top 3 in one because my top 3 are just in islands. So
Do we have the same top 3?
probably not. We'll see.
No.
My number 3 is Hulk. And that's surprising because everybody loves Hulk. But that is my number 3 because my number 1 and number 2 are better in my opinion. But it's top 3 and it beats out everybody else because it's just that launch is amazing. The soundtrack that goes with it is amazing. Everything's just freaking amazing about it. So and it's just fun. It's usually our first ride that we ride every time we go. So that also has like a memory type thing attached to it. So there's that. So yeah, Hulk is my number 3. What was your number 3?
So my top 3 are also at islands, but my number 3 is Spider-Man.
Oh wow.
It's usually the second ride we ride whenever we go to Universal. We usually always go to Hulk and then Spider-Man. It's fun to do. If you're prone to motion sickness, I do not recommend. The last time we went, which was before they closed, for some reason it was more like, it felt like it was moving a lot more, like getting the vibrations and all of that. Like,
Felt like it was new.
Yeah, it felt different compared to the previous times that we've gone on it, but it's a fun ride. We've been able to sit all the way in the back and also front row. If you can't get front row, you should get front row.
So
Number 2?
my number 2 is Spider-Man. The ride is just amazing. I like the 3D aspect of it, just being immersed in it, and I think it's one of the most well done rides in Universal. The way that the mechanics run and the storyline and all that is just amazing, and I will never get tired of it. I will always have to ride that ride every time I go. Doesn't matter anything. It's also my saving grace because in some of my videos I've had to get out of the rain, so I go and ride Spider-Man, and then I come back and there's no rain, so it's pretty cool. So that's why Spider-Man is my number 2, because of the rain. Not really, but it's one of the main factors. So your number 2?
My number 2 is Hulk.
So we're gonna have the same 3, but
yes,
just in different order.
Different order. So the launch is my favorite launch ever. Every time, probably not ever, but it's my favorite launch. It's fun how we immediately just do right out of the tunnel. I have a soft spot for it just because, I don't know, I think it's one of the first roller coaster type ride we did, and we high-fived and it was all cute.
Yeah,
I was also kind
it's a family thing.
I was also kind of scared a little bit just because I wasn't the biggest fan of roller coasters.
If you can't tell from the Horror Nights vlog, she doesn't get scared apparently.
I'm not getting scared.
It's a lie.
But it's really fun ride. The way you go from fast to slow and then you just go right. It's really fun. Also, I kind of float in that ride, so not
She's
float,
tiny.
but I mean my feet
Fly.
I fly. My feet don't touch the.
And I'm always worried about your glasses.
Yeah,
so
my
I don't
glasses.
enjoy the first part of the ride.
My glasses have become an issue because I'm scared that they're gonna.
They're always in my
fall
pocket,
off.
so I'm always holding on to
Yeah.
my pocket as we're going. But
people ride it with their glasses
I don't trust
on.
it.
But I'm very terrified of it. I tried it,
And they flew off, and you had to grab them.
They almost fell off, and I immediately just
Smacked
almost
yourself.
smacked my face because I was scared they were gonna come off. But yeah, my number 2.
My number 1.
I think we have the same number 1.
Yep, I've ridden it 3 times.
I've ridden it once.
Unfortunately, I've only ridden it 3 times, but
Sadly,
we don't have time to wait in lines. And by that, I'm assuming everybody knows that we're talking about Hagrid's. Hagrid's is, oh man, can't even say it's the best ride anymore. I know this is a Universal thing, but Rise of the Resistance is the best ride I've ever ridden in my life. But Hagrid's is the best ride in Universal. And it's so smooth. That's really the main reason why I like it is because it's fast and it's smooth and it doesn't rock you back and forth. And we got to ride it at night during Christmas, and it was just beautiful.
Wasn't the Harry Potter show going on too at the same time?
So while we were waiting in the line, we could see the fireworks on Hogwarts Castle.
Which part about that show?
That's not my top 3. But yeah, it's just amazing. It's just fun. It's beautiful. It's smooth. And hopefully after this whole quarantine shutdown thing, they fixed all their problems. But if they haven't, then it's still gonna be a 300-something minute wait and 25 breakdowns a day. But putting all that aside, which is a lot to put aside, it's still fun. And I waited 4.5 hours the first time I rode it, and it was worth it. So yeah, that's my number 1.
Yeah, my number 1's also Hagrid's, like we said already. It's just, I don't know, it's just a different kind of ride. It's fun. I did not expect the drop the way it did.
I told Jonah and her that it's gonna be the best ride they ever rode, and they didn't believe me until after. So
yeah, it was really then I did it on when we went on it, I was on the cart.
Yes.
Right? I want to ride it again, but I want to be on.
Didn't we get first row?
No, we didn't.
I think me and Jonah did.
I think so.
And front row on Hagrid's is the best spot you can have on any ride.
We were towards the back.
Oh, that's right.
No,
because we were close to being number 1. But we were like 5 out of 6.
Yeah. I think we're like in the middle.
Probably.
But it was still really fun. Just the whole ride. I don't know, it's just fun. It just, you know, I thought I probably wouldn't wait more than 2 hours.
Good luck with that.
How long did we wait?
We only waited like 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, it was fun. I do want to ride it again once I can.
Most likely in October.
Probably.
Probably the next time I go. So
he's gonna be able to ride it before I do, probably.
Probably not. I don't wait in the line for that by myself, so.
But yeah, I don't think it's a line you would want to wait by yourself.
And single riders isn't any better, so.
Yeah, and there's no express pass yet for it.
Nope.
But yeah, those are our top 3s.
Our top 3s of some things that we only had 2 things of, but yeah, Universal's my favorite park. We haven't been to Disney enough to do a Disney thing, Universal Studios Orlando is my favorite park. Hopefully we get to do these more often once we do more Disney stuff and once we go to more events, because hopefully at some point we'll be down there for good and have our annual passes to both. But until then, we'll just keep going whenever we can, and especially now since we can't go anyway. But hopefully it reopens soon and we get to go. But other than that,
that is all.
That is all. So with that being said, peace.